Hello friends, this is Ron here, and in this King of Fighters All-Star video, basically we are going to do something really interesting. We are going to compare the kit of Ultimate Saiki and Ultimate Ash from Apple to Apple and try to see that which character has the better kit and which character has the more potential to do damage, or which character actually has more potentiality. So in this video we are going to do a comparison, and by comparison I mean I actually took some time and created this chart, and this is going to be Ash and this is going to be Saiki, and there are different topics that we are going to talk about and we are going to note, and we are going to compare these two fighters with the same topics. For example, let's just say in this topic skill 1, we are going to compare the skill 1 of Ultimate Ash here and the skill of Saiki, and then we are going to announce the winner, and the winner will get a certain point, that is 1 point, and the one who will lose will get no points. And if both of them wins together, or both of them kind of loses together, or if it's a draw, then nobody will receive any point and nobody will be the winner. And at the end we are going to sum up that which character has got the most points, and the character that got the most point will be the winner of our competition. So let's go and start the comparison between Ash Crimson and the Dark Saiki. And our first topic will be color and type. Ash Crimson is a green element attack type twist fighter, and Saiki is a yellow attack type fighter, but his type is chaos. Now so far I don't see any differentiation between twist or chaos. No one is superior than the other, both are just different type. So in that case I don't see any difference, so none of them are going to win this category. So I just wrote draw in the place of winner, nobody won, nobody got any point, and I just colored this category to mark that it has been considered, it is done. Now next category, leadership. Now in terms of leadership, Ash is going to increase green element fighters attack by 70%, while Ash is going to increase only chaos type fighters attack by 70%. Both of them are giving as a leader 70% extra attack buff, which is same. However, I think, only my personal opinion about it, that Ash's leadership for green element fighters is going to be more effective because he is going to be able to lead the green fighters from all the generations like EX, SS, BS, or any collab fighter or any fighter. He will be able to apply his leadership, while Saiki is going to cover only chaos fighters. Now I think this leadership of Ash is going to be more important because it is going to support us in certain game modes like for example plug-in plant, where color is the most important thing, and you definitely need this character. You definitely need a character like this who is going to lead your green team. On the other hand, Saiki is definitely going to lead the future chaos type fighters, because so far in the game we don't really have any other chaos type fighters, so there will be future chaos type fighters for sure. So definitely Saiki is going to give his leadership to them, but the problem is next generation chaos type fighters probably will be another ultimate fighter from any banner. They will be a damage dealer on their own, and probably they will have a certain more effective leadership rather than Saiki. Probably there will be increase of critical rate, critical damage. So this type of leadership, I mean that it doesn't make sense that you will going to use Saiki after 4 or 5 banners only as a leader. It doesn't make any sense. So I think Ash is going to win this battle. So as you guys can see in our leadership category, I wrote the description and I declared Ash as a winner, and Ash is going to receive 1 point. Alrighty, congratulations Ash to the first win. Next we are going to check the functions of Awaken skill or ultimate skill. In case of Saiki, we have this ultimate break that is going to reset the active skill and enhance basic attacks to 3 hit attacks for 5 seconds upon use, enter arrogant state upon use regardless of condition met. This arrogance is very important because in yesterday's video I actually described about the feature of his arrogance, so this is very important effect. Now in the case of Ash, he is also going to reset the active skill cooldown, and for 3 seconds once again the active 1 is going to reset the active 2 skill and vice versa. For 3 seconds he is going to get more skill receipts. Then it is going to increase attack by 50% for 3 seconds upon landing active skill on elite enemy or boss. This is specially directed towards the guilds, my friends, towards the special bosses, and I think this is why Ash can be called the guild specialist. And also it is going to increase momentum by additional 5% if the target is affected by crowd control. Now you guys can clearly see that both characters are having reset skill, but Ash is having more reset skill, and also but the duration of Ash is kind of lower, that is 3 seconds. But at the same time Ash is getting more versatility. First of all, he is going to face the guild bosses in a better way with more damages, and secondly with this increased momentum he is going to be more effective than ultimate Saiki in game modes, say for example where momentum is going to applicable. I think that is going to be Aegis challenge. Ash is going to be more valuable in Aegis challenge. So I think in this department Ash wins, so I'm going to declare him as a winner and give him 1 point. Next topic guys, skill number 1, active skill number 1. In case of Ash, he is going to deal 1970% of attack, phantom damage will be 630%, and applies fear 3 for 5 seconds, inflict burn damage 5000% of attack, and this is some PvP exclusive. We are not going to consider PvP exclusive much, but this is going to remove target's damage reflect and disable damage reflect. And in case of Saiki, he is going to dealing 1914% of attack, a phantom damage of 788%, and it is going to decrease target's movement speed by 80% for 3 seconds, and it is going to deal darkness damage equal to 1000% attack to the target for 10 seconds. Now here's the thing guys, you see the damage amount, the initial damage is 1970 versus 1914%. Ash is getting higher damage, however Saiki is getting more phantom damage. Now you have to decide that whether you are going to depend on phantom damage or not, whether you actually going to use phantom damage or not, and in which game modes. For example, if you are going to play guild, probably phantom damage is not going to be useful for you at all because you would like to use your Awaken skills, right? And phantom damage or phantom skill doesn't provide you any Awaken skill. Probably I don't really, so far I haven't really tried a lot, but so far what I have seen that you actually feel good and you can do a lot of skills if you use the Awakening skill, not the phantom one. So if you are not using phantom damage, then this is kind of a waste for you. Now fear, Ash is going to do fear for 3.5 seconds, and ultimate Saiki is going to decrease movement speed for 80% for 3 seconds. Both of these are actually PvP oriented things. None of them are going to work well on great bosses. Fear doesn't really work on guild at all. It doesn't really matter. And next, about the dots, ultimate Ash is having burn damage equal to 5000% of attack, and Saiki is having 1000% of damage, 1000% for 10 seconds. Now notice something guys, this burn damage of Ash doesn't really have any cooldown or nothing at all. It doesn't have any particular duration also. But Darkness of Ash is limited by 10 seconds of duration. So who is going to be the winner? There can be two answers. If you consider from PvP point of view, then definitely Saiki is going to be the winner because he has more phantom damage. But if you are thinking about PvE content, for example guild or ages challenge, may probably, in that case I think Ash is going to do better because he is initially going to do more damage, more percentage, and finally this burn damage of 5000%, both combined, the Ash is probably going to do more damage than Saiki in PvE content, for example against guild bosses. So I think probably Ash is going to be winner, but I still have some doubts, but still I'm going to declare Ash because I'm a big fan of guild. I don't really care about PvP. In case of Saiki, for skill number 2, by the way, now we will talk about skill number 2, active skill number 2. And Saiki is going to inflict damage equal to 1858% of attack. Pretty weird percentage right here. What kind of number is this? Is going to inflict phantom damage equal to 732%, once again very high, and going to get hyper armor, super armor, damage immunity for 5 seconds, and it is going to decrease target's defense for 80% and increase the damage received by 100% for 13 seconds upon landing the skill. Very great support skill. And Ash, he is going to once again deal 1970% of attack, and phantom damage will be lower, 562%, and he's going to get also super armor, hyper armor thing, going to deal burn damage equal to 1000% of attack for 5 seconds, decrease targets damage received 80% and increase their damage received 100%, same skill as Saiki, but on top of that a lot of damage. Now you guys can clearly see in the skill 2, Ash is having initially more attack but lower phantom damage, while Saiki is having lower attack and higher phantom damage. And on top of that, Ash is going to do burn damage 1000% for 5 seconds. Saiki doesn't do any burn damage, and both of them are having these decreased targets defense by 80%, increased damage received by 100%. Both of them are having. So Ash's skill is more versatile and it will in fact or simply deal more damage. As you can see these percentages and you see this extra burn damage, so definitely Ash is winner in this skill 2 department. I mean, I don't know what to say, but I have no intention to make Ash the winner because I am personally probably going to summon for Saiki, but look at the comparison guys, what can I even say? Alright, let's go with active skill 3. So in the third skill, Saiki is going to, Ash is going to deal damage 1800% and phantom damage 709%. Also he's going to get the resetting of skills, and also you will get an increased attack for 100% for 3 seconds. And for Saiki in the skill 3, he's going to inflict damage 1915% of attack, finally a high damage, and phantom damage 677%, little bit lower, apply stun and fear on the target for 3.5 seconds, and reset active skill. Now for the first time, Ash is having lower damage and higher phantom damage, and Saiki is having higher damage and lower phantom damage. However, both of them are having this reset skill thing. Saiki is going to get the stun fear effect on the enemy for 3.5 seconds, and Ash is going to get a 100% attack buff for 3 seconds. The 3 seconds time is very low, but still a 100% attack buff is amazing. And on the other hand, stun and fear is also useful, but think about the game modes where you are going to use stun and fear, definitely not guild. Now, I don't know what is your preference, guys, but personally, from this type of characters that requires 100,000 rubies to get maxed up, I prefer damage, high damage for sure, and in this department, once again, Ash rules. Though he has lower damage right here, of course, a little bit lower, but still he is getting an attack buff for 100% for 3 seconds. This is going to keep him ahead. So I think Ash is going to winner. Now let's talk about the default finisher. In case of Ash, he is going to deal 2652% of attack, phantom damage of 1441%, huge, and get some reset skill. And in case of Saiki, he is also going to deal the same amount of attack and phantom attack, but at the same time getting the reset active skill, he is also getting this entire arrogant state upon use, which is going to regardless of conditions made. So this is going to be a little bit more beneficiary. And also from his core we have seen that there are some other features that's going to attack buff is going to be achieved after this finisher. So in terms of finisher and its effect, I think Saiki is going to be the winner. So I declared Saiki for default finisher as a winner and gave him 1 point. But also don't forget the fact that the default finisher of Saiki is going to be a grab skill. That might be problem in some cases, I don't really know, but still I think it is going to be the winner. Now about the ultimate finisher, both finishers I think are really spectacular to watch. Really full screen effect. However, notice that the finisher of Saiki is kind of shorter, and especially if you just consider the almost 10-second long 3PG of Ash Crimson. Oh my god, we're still halfway. Look at this. Really detailed and very long. Is going to be helpful in many game modes. For example, in guild is going to be better in terms of summoning your strikers and things like that. Longer 3PGs are always better. So I think Ash wins the ultimate finisher department and I gave him 1 point. Now regarding the core, guys, and the effects. So our core of Ash Crimson and ultimate Saiki is compared here, and you can see the basic key points. On the first core, Saiki, Ash is going to get 600% attack while Saiki is getting 700% attack, so 100% more. PG gain, both of them 30%. Critical rate, my bad, critical rate is also 30% for both of them. Critical damage, however, Ash is getting 350%. And critical damage, Saiki is getting 300%. So I'm just coloring them in which department who are the winners. Like in attack, Saiki has more, and in critical damage, Ash has actually more. Now next we are having this one, extortion. From the extortion, Ash is going to get 10% blast skill damage increase, and that can be up to 30%, and this will be applicable to all the skills, and especially this is going to be dedicated towards the elite bosses or guild bosses or even Aegis bosses as well. While Merciless in Saiki is going to get critical damage 30% up to 300%, a great possibility. However, only 20% is reserved for elite bosses. That means he is going to get 100% chance to Merciless in case of PvP or in any other game contents, but not against elite bosses. That's kind of a weird combination right here. I think Ash is going to get the winner points for sure, at least for this thing. Now this preference might depend on you. If you are someone who is willing to play PvP content more, then definitely this result might vary in your cases. Next core, both of them are actually getting this blast skill damage increase, and in case of Ash it has a duration of 10 seconds and it is going to increase up to 75%, but in case of Saiki, it is going to be a straightforward 250% blast skill buff. So I think Saiki wins the blast skill buff battle. Now next we are having finally this active 2 skill 555% buff and active 1 skill 555% buff. Sorry, my bad, I wrote bug. And by the way, both of them are cumulative. That means they can stack on top of each other. So this is going to be increased with time. On the other hand, Saiki is going to have a straight cut 300% basic attack and 2000% basic move buff. Sorry, my bad. Saiki also had 3000% and 2000%. So Saiki is doing in thousands, while Ash is doing in hundreds, 500%, 550%. But this is going to be cumulative. So it is really hard to tell that which one of these are actually winners, because basic attack, basic move with this other arrogant effect, Saiki is going to launch a lot of hits too. So I think these two are draw. I cannot really conclude in these two cases, especially active 2 skill and basic move, last two cores. I cannot decide, my friends. I'm sorry. But let me know in the comments that what you think about this. So guys, the final result is in our hand, and of course it is no surprise that we have found Ash is kind of way ahead of Saiki in terms of damage, especially in PvE content. And if I show you that we considered all these variable factors, and one of them is draw, but about 6 of them are won by Ash, and only one department is won by Saiki, that is the default finisher. But in every department, in every skills, also in Awaken ultimate skill, everywhere I think Ash dominates the scene. But once again, my friends, don't take it as a final conclusion, because in the actual battle things might get varied depending on the strikers, depending on the support characters, depending on battle cards, plugins, imprint stones. A lot of things is going to come into the play, and also it also depends on which type of game modes actually appeals to you. Are you a PvP focused or are you a PvE focused? If you are someone who is focusing on PvP, definitely Saiki is the better deal for you. But if you are focusing on guild or ages challenge or something PvE content like that, I think in my humble opinion that Ash is probably going to prove you as a better choice. So let me know what you think about this opinion. Hope to see you guys soon in some other videos. Till then, stay awesome and peace out, my friends.